A next type of motion here, rotational motion. A rotational motion, how can we define rotational motion? Motion in which a body moves about an axis is called rotational motion. Rotational motion, we can say when an object turns about a fixed axis. A fixed axis is called rotational. For example, spinning top, or you can say lattu, exhibits rotational motion. है ना? Spinning top moving around on its axis. On its axis. वो इसी axis पे क्या करेगा? Motion करेगा. It means motion of spinning top is you can say the example of rotational motion. And our earth also turns around on its axis like a spinning top. The spinning of earth on an example, it is example of rotational motion. Now next motion here, oscillatory and vibratory motion. It means repeated back and forth movement. Back and forth movement about the rest position is called oscillatory motion. Which means if start from one side the rest position to the other and back. Oscillatory motion means repeated back and forth motion. Repeated back and forth motion. So repeated back and forth motion you can say oscillatory motion. It means we can say a one complete cycle from position of release to other extreme back. For example, this is the mean position or point of release to the other extreme position here and back to initial point. You can say one oscillation. Yani when the object move from rest to extreme position and then comes to next extreme position and comes again a rest position. You can say mean position. This is the one oscillation. This is the one oscillation. For example, motion of pendulum, of clock, and motion of spring when it is giving a jerk, also example of oscillatory motion. Means motion of the pendulum of a clock. We can say oscillatory motion. Next one here, vibratory motion, a very fast back and forth. A very fast back and forth motion is called vibratory motion. Example, the movement of string of a guitar. It means वो कितनी जल्दी movement करती है. It means vibration करती हैं. So जो vibrations है, these vibrations are called vibratory motion. Next kind of motion here, periodic and non-periodic motion. Periodic means motion that repeats itself repeat itself after equal interval of time. It's called periodic motion. It means a repeated motion है and a equal interval of time. For example, Earth completes a rotation around its axis in every 24 hours. So rotation of Earth is periodic motion. Which means you can say the second hand of a watch takes the same time 60 seconds to complete each round. It means that is the motion of seconds hand of watch repeated after regular interval of time. So the motion of second hand of watch is example of periodic motion. Movements of minutes hand and hours hand of a watch are also periodic motion. Which means repeated after fixed interval of time. We can say periodic motion. Okay, next one here, non-periodic motion. Non-periodic motion, a motion that does not repeat itself after a fixed interval of time. Does not repeat, that cannot repeat itself after a fixed interval of time. You can say non-periodic motion. For example, a car moving on a straight road. Okay, when a car moving in a straight road, and a butterfly flying in the air, an example of non-periodic motion. It means इसका कोई time fix नहीं है, and their speed and time is not fixed there, so you can say non-periodic motion. And the last kind of motion here, random motion. Random motion means when a body moves in a different direction and does not have fixed path. It means उसकी direction है वो क्या है, different है, कहीं भी movement हो सकती है, and that have not a fixed path, यानी उनका एक particular एक path भी नहीं है. So you can say it is called random motion. Example, random motions are the flight path of an insect, the flow of water in a river, कहीं भी उनका कोई डायरेक्शन नहीं है. It means that can move anywhere. And the movement of atoms and molecules in liquid and gases. It means the movement of atoms can be moved here and there. There is no any fixed direction and no or not have a fixed path. So there are rotational motion, oscillatory and vibratory motions, and periodic, non-periodic motions are complete here. So thank you class.